For the longest time, the AI game has felt like it's all about one thing, just sheer size. You've got these giants like OpenAI building absolutely massive models, and they've been setting the standard with pure raw power. But what if there's another way? Today, we're diving into DeepSeek, a seriously interesting AI challenger that's betting big on lean innovation instead of just brute force. And that really brings us to the big question that's going to drive our whole conversation today. Is a leaner, more accessible AI future actually closer than we think? DeepSeek is basically staking its entire strategy on the answer being a huge yes, and we're about to find out how. All right, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First up, we'll get to know this new contender that's shaking things up. Then, we're going to pop the hood and look at its efficiency engine to see what makes it tick. After that, it's the main event, a head-to-head showdown between power and precision. Then, we'll give you the lowdown on how to make the right choice for your own projects. And finally, we'll zoom out and see how this whole rivalry is rewriting the AI playbook. Let's jump in. Okay, first up, let's set the stage. Right now, in the world of AI, we're seeing two totally different philosophies start to emerge. You can really think of it as the incumbent versus the disruptor. You've got the established champ in one corner, and in the other, a new challenger with a completely different game plan. So on one side, you have OpenAI's approach. Think of it like a classic American muscle car. It's a muscle car strategy, just raw power using immense brute force computation to build these super versatile, do-everything models. But on the other side, you've got DeepSeek's vision, which is more like a sleek, efficient rocket. This open-source challenger from China is all about cost-effective, specialized AI for very specific industries. It is a classic David versus Goliath story, but for the age of AI. And that's the thing about DeepSeek. Their mission is just laser-focused. They are not trying to build an AI that can write you a poem 1 minute and then plan your vacation the next. Their whole goal is to bridge that gap between abstract lab research and actual, real-world problems. They're targeting specific, heavy-hitting industries like finance, law, and healthcare, where deep, specialized knowledge is everything. And by making their models open source, they're trying to democratize AI, putting these powerful tools in everyone's hands, with a special expertise in Chinese language tasks. So how in the world does DeepSeek manage to deliver this incredible mix of power and efficiency? Well, the answer is in their technical secret sauce. Let's go ahead and look under the hood. At the very heart of it all is this really cool architecture called Mixture of Experts, or MOE for short. Now, instead of firing up the entire massive model for every single little question, MOE works like a super efficient company. When a new task comes in, it doesn't call an all-hands-on-deck meeting, right? That would be crazy. Instead, it routes the task to the specific small team of experts who are best suited to handle it. This saves a truly incredible amount of computational energy. And this number is just wild. A DeepSeek model might have a huge 671 billion total parameters on paper, but for any given task, it only activates a tiny fraction of them. We're talking around 37 billion. Just think about that for a second. By only calling on the necessary experts, it totally slashes the computational cost while still delivering super high-quality results. It is the absolute definition of working smarter, not harder. The other key piece of their secret sauce is multi-head latent attention, or MLA. This thing tackles one of the biggest bottlenecks in AI, memory. What MLA does is it cleverly compresses a critical part of the model's short-term memory, it's called the KV cache, by over 90%. And the result? It can process insanely long documents, up to 128,000 tokens, way, way faster. This is an absolute game changer for things like analyzing massive legal contracts or entire medical research papers. Just a quick reminder, this episode is brought to you by AgileWoW. If you're looking to level up your skills, check out our upcoming workshops on product management, agile leadership, and artificial intelligence. Visit our website, www.agilewow.com, for more details. All right, now for the part you've been waiting for, the main event. We've seen the strategy, we've seen the tech, but how do these two AI philosophies actually perform when they go head-to-head? It's time for a showdown. So this table really lays it all out, side by side. You've got DeepSeek on the left with that super efficient mixture of experts architecture, and then OpenAI on the right, using what's called a dense transformer. Remember, that's like the all-hands-on-deck meeting for every single task. Incredibly powerful, sure, but also super resource-intensive. And this one architectural choice pretty much dictates everything else. DeepSeek's focus on open-source specialization versus OpenAI's goal of closed-source general-purpose dominance. But this is where things get absolutely mind-blowing. Just look at the cost. Training a model like DeepSeek costs an estimated $5.6 million. A comparable OpenAI model? You're looking at over 100 million. That is not just a little bit cheaper. DeepSeek is delivering top-tier performance at about 10% of the cost. This completely changes the economics of AI. It opens the door for startups, for smaller companies, even for individual developers to build powerful models without needing a 9-figure budget. And it's not just cheaper, it's way faster. When you look at processing speed, DeepSeek is clocking in at around 275 tokens per second. Compare that to about 65 for o1 Pro. That massive speed advantage makes it so much better for real-time applications where you need an answer right now, like in a customer service chatbot or an interactive data analysis tool. And hey, don't for a second think that all this efficiency means they're cutting corners on quality. No way. Just take a look at these benchmarks for coding challenges. As you can see, DeepSeek Coder isn't just holding its own against the competition, it's actually outperforming them. It even surpassed GPT 3.5 Turbo in a head-to-head coding contest. This is hard proof that a specialized, efficient model can absolutely be a top performer in its field. Okay, so with these two powerful but very different options on the table, how do you actually choose? This brings us to the really practical part. Which of these AIs is the right one for you? Let's break it down. You're going to want to lean towards DeepSeek if cost is a huge factor for you. 10% of the cost is hard to ignore. If you work in a specialized field like law or finance and you need deep, pinpoint accuracy, it's a fantastic choice. And if you really value the flexibility of open source, or if keeping your data private on your own servers is a big deal, then yeah, DeepSeek is kind of a no-brainer. But on the other hand, OpenAI is still the undisputed champ if you need a true jack-of-all-trades. Its versatility is just unmatched. If you need support for over 50 languages, or if you just want a simple, stable API that's easy to plug into your projects, that's a huge win for OpenAI. And if you need that top-tier, best-in-class performance for creative writing or really complex methodical reasoning, then OpenAI's mature platform is probably still your best bet. So let's zoom out for a second. What does all of this competition really mean for the future of AI? This isn't just about one company versus another. What we're seeing is a fundamental shift in the entire AI playbook. What we're witnessing here is really the end of the one AI to rule them all era. The future isn't some single, gigantic, locked-down model. It's a vibrant, open ecosystem. We're moving towards a world where we have lots of specialized, efficient models, each one designed perfectly for a specific job. The question is no longer which model is the best. It's becoming which model is the right one for this task. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway from all of this. This contest between DeepSeek and OpenAI, it isn't about crowning a single winner. It's about a whole new world of choice. The real winner here is the user, the developer, the business, the researcher, who now has more powerful and more tailored options than ever before. So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. As this lean, smart innovation continues to challenge the brute force giants, what new possibilities is this rivalry going to unlock? What new businesses, what new applications, what new breakthroughs are suddenly possible now that weren't before? The game is changing right before our eyes, and honestly, the most exciting part is just getting started. Thanks for tuning into the podcast, supported by AgileWoW. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow the podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your team. And if you want to advance your Agile journey, check out AgileWoW's upcoming trainings, events, and workshops, all designed to help you grow faster, smarter, and together. Until next time, stay agile, stay curious.